to another edition of the Student Fire Podcast, live from the Speak Fire studio. My name is Bobby Berg. I'm a motivational speaker for schools, and I am here to help you live your best life today. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of Student Fire, live from the Speak Fire studio. I'm your host, Bobby Berg, and we have a super awesome episode. As I told everyone last week, and the week before, we're going to have guests on here. And this is kind of amazing. We usually have guests that I'm very close with, and we have guests that I talk to regularly, usually my friends and colleagues. But today we're going to talk to somebody that I've connected with through various speaker websites and speaker groups. And this is my buddy Lenita, and I'm going to let her introduce herself and go ahead.
Thanks,
hello.
Bobby.
Yeah.
Hey, everyone. It's so good to be here. I'm super thankful that I've connected with Bobby. My name is Lenita, and I'm from Sydney, Australia. So I'm not sure, Bobby, if you had international guests on your podcast yet.
You're the first one.
Or any Aussies, so to speak. But I'm so excited to be here and just jam it out, have a really cool conversation, and yeah, just help you guys with any tips or motivation that you're craving at the moment.
Yeah. So Lenita, because she didn't cover this yet, is a phenomenal, not only speaker, but an even better coach. And if you're not following her on every social media platform imaginable, please do yourself a favor and do it. Like, I know I promote a lot of other people on this, but you really need to. We've been talking for maybe 2 months now? 3 maybe? And the amount of value that she's given me just in like throwing up a random post, and I'll be scrolling through Facebook and I'm like, whoa, wait. I didn't even consider that as an option. Like, how do you okay, cool. So give her a follow. You'll trust me. You'll thank me later. Something that she's really good at is talking about resilience tools. And Lenita, can you go ahead and just jump into that? Because y'all, this is going to be a really information-packed episode. So grab whatever you can, grab a notebook, the notes app in your phone, whatever you want to do. You're going to want to take notes on this one.
Yeah, for sure. Let's dive right into it. So just a bit of background with myself, growing up as a teenager, on paper, I seemed like I had it all. Like I was quite academic. I was quite athletic in school, but behind the scenes, I had a few hardships going on, in my family household. When it came to, growing up with divorced parents, that was always a struggle for me. And also just really being insecure, not being confident enough in myself. I always felt like I wasn't good enough. So that's why I tried so hard in school and so hard in sports, because I wanted to prove myself to people. And so what really helped me excel in school was never because I was the smartest kid. And what really helped me excel, like on the basketball court, for example, was not because I was the most athletic. I really just learned how to develop strong resilience tools and mindset hacks at a very early age. And I'm talking about like from 12 to 17 years as a teenager. And I found that you don't have to be the smartest person. You just need to have the most effective routines and habits in place, and that's what's going to really help you excel. So bring it forward today. That's what I really help with teenagers that I coach and speak to in schools is if you really want to change your life, you want to really enhance your success, you just need to change your habits and the way you think, and everything else will be taken care of. And yeah, I'd love to dive into the five hacks.
Absolutely. Let's jump into it.
Okay, cool. So I have this saying that, life is tough, but so are you. And I have these 5-step resilience tools that I really help teenagers just dive right in and take full advantage of. And it's an acronym that stands for tough. So number 1, you really need to be thankful in your life. So when things go really wrong, it's not about, adding the list of how many negative things are happening. We need to reflect on what's actually good in our life and what's really working. We need to celebrate ourselves a little bit more. So being thankful just basically means practicing gratitude. And how to really do that in your life is, very simply wake up in the morning and the first 5 minutes of your day, just practice gratitude in any way that you can. It might be prayer if you pray. It might be writing down a gratitude list in a journal that you might have. Or it might be, having something motivational next to your bedhead where it might be like a vision board or something that gets you really excited. And then just try that out. For me personally, that's really helped me, just focusing on the good things. Because, I'm sure you can relate, Bobby, when you focus on the negative, life attracts life, and you'll start to attract so much more negativity because the vibes, you can't fake that. And we need to really control how we think and what we attract in our life. So number 1 is being thankful and practicing gratitude in our lives. Number two, the second resilience tool that I have is being optimistic. And it sounds really easy, it sounds pretty cheesy, but at the same time, it's actually quite effective and simple. And being optimistic just basically means having positive self-talk in your own mindset. The greatest athletes that, you know, for example, LeBron James is not just the best basketball or one of the best basketball players. You know, that's a debatable topic. But for example, he's not just the greatest player on the court. He does so much behind the scenes with his mindset and self-talk that really enhances how he performs on the basketball court. Same thing with a lot of, you know, successful businessmen, successful people in society. It comes down to that self-belief that they have. So being optimistic about yourself is super important in order to overcome these hardships in your life. And a practical way on how to do this, guys, is literally, you know, changing the type of words that you say to yourself inside your head, right? The most important voice inside when it comes to your life is you, and everything else you need to try to, you know, control the noise as much as you can, because there's going to be a lot of voices going to be telling you a lot of things in your life, especially when it comes to bullying. If you feel like you're getting bullied in school at the moment, you really need to make sure your inner voice becomes so much louder than the bully's voice. Super important. And how to do this is, it's like a muscle. You got to train your self-talk every single day, writing down maybe positive affirmation statements, where that might be, you know, statements that begin with I am, you know, I am confident, I am worthy, I am loved, things like this. I am enough. That's one of my favorite ones. And the more you say it to yourself, the more it becomes part of your daily conversation, and the more it becomes natural. You start to believe it. You know, we are conditioned to believe what we see, and the more you really condition yourself and your mindset, the more you're going to say, you know what, I actually am enough. I am loved. I am worthy. And that confidence is just going to peak dramatically. So one little thing that I do, guys, is I change my alarm code in the morning. I change the actual message. So instead of my alarm going off and saying alarm, it says I am enough. And that's like the first message that I get in the morning, right? And it's super cheesy.
No, that is awesome.
But yeah, so what happens is, the reason why I do that is because the first set of information that enters your head in the morning will stick with you for the rest of the day. And I think, you know, sometimes this might happen to you, Bobby, when you listen to a song in the morning and then you just can't get it out of your head the whole day. You feel like you're just singing it the whole day. It's because our brains are like a sponge, and the first, you know, 10% or 15% of information that enters our brain in the morning is going to stick with us for the remainder of the day. So if you start with positive thoughts, positive self-talk, it's going to set yourself up for like a really confident day at school, at work, you know, in your family, etc. So that's number 2 with positive self-talk. Number 3 is understanding your why. So when things go wrong in your life or they don't go as planned, it's always easier to play the victim and feel like you're really, you know, you feel really sorry for yourself. But the most effective way to move forward is to set goals in your life, like know your purpose. And knowing your purpose is a little bit hard at a young age, but you have to start thinking about, how can I use my gifts and talents to make someone else's life better? And that might be through sport, that might be through music, that might be through, you know, speaking. Even if you're like, you know, you're the joker in the class and you're kind of like the classroom clown. At the same time, think about that purpose in your life, like you're bringing joy to people. So the more often you focus and reflect on that every day, you start to think, okay, I had a bad day, but tomorrow I'm going to chase those goals. It's kind of that chase is what really gives us a lot of energy in our life. So setting goals, a practical way on how to do this is to write down a big goal, but don't focus on the biggest goal. I want you to dissect that into daily action steps every day. So 1 to 2 action steps that you can execute. For example, I want a 6-pack by summer. I want a 6-pack of abs by summer. So that's the big goal. But what do I have to do every single day to make sure I can get those abs before summer? So that would be hit the gym, you know, drink a certain amount of water, or, you know, don't eat after a certain time of day, for example. So make it very simple. Don't overwhelm yourself. And that's just how easy it is to crush your goals and really keep pushing yourself forward when things don't go to plan in your life. How are we going so far? Am I talking too much, or is this good?
No, by all means. I love this. I really appreciate how you've broken it down into such a simple way that's not just easily digestible, but it makes sense. And I get this from students a lot where they go, Bobby, it can't be that easy. And I'm like, guys, you know this whole thing that we call life, like no one really knows what we're doing. We're all making it up as we go. Yeah. So yes, it literally is that easy. You just have to change your perspective. Again, I feel like a lot of students get caught up in their own little box of how they think and what's going on in school and what's going on after school and athletics and such, that when you get this outsider perspective, all it takes is something simple like that of going, here's a really cool acronym to just kind of guide you. Someone can just go, oh, wait, whoa. You know, you can totally change your perspective like that.
Totally. And it only starts with like that little one step. And, I can dive into that too, but there's two last tools actually for the resilience. So the fourth one is giving to others. So giving to others basically means, you know, serving other people around you and putting out, you know, acts of compassion, acts of kindness. And the reason why this is so powerful for us as humans is because when we do something nice for someone, although we think it's just a nice thing to do, it's actually a little bit of a selfish gain as well, because when we do something nice, our body releases this hormone called oxytocin and dopamine, and they're called happy hormones. So naturally, your body just releases these type of hormones and puts you in a really good mood and state of mind. So when you feel like, you know, your life is going to crap a little bit or you don't know what to do, just try to pick yourself up and do something nice for someone. It might be opening the door for an elderly person. It might be smiling at someone at the cashier at the local convenience store. You know, maybe it's, and one of my favorites is sending a text message to a friend that I might not have spoken to in a while and be like, hey, just checking in on you. Hope everything is well. Add your emojis. And then you'll see their reaction when they reply. So it puts you in a good mood. So you got to find that one little thing that you really like to do for other people, and actually just do it, and don't feel like you're going to get rejected, or just do it for the sake of being a good person. And you'll soon witness what that will do for you. So, and one example that I did was, I went to the local coffee shop or cafe, and I basically bought my coffee, and then I paid for the person behind me for their coffee. And it was super awkward in the beginning. This person didn't know who I was. They're like, why are you buying my coffee and everything like that? And then I just explained, look, I just wanted to do something nice for the person after me. You just happen to be that person. Can I buy you the cup of coffee? And she's like, yeah, sure, no problem. And it was beautiful. They smiled. I smiled. I said, see you later. And then that was it. And it put me in a good mood. So be creative and see what comes up in your head. Because we're all human beings. We should be spreading love and compassion. And that's a really powerful way to really enhance your resilience, your confidence in life. And if you do it more often, you'll see how much happiness you can attract in your life as well. The last one stands for hacking your lifestyle, which basically means establishing very positive and healthy habits in your life in order for you to be consistent at achieving your goals. Because we all don't know, as you said, we don't know all the facts. We just got to make sure that we're doing the little simple basic things every day, and consistency will compound down the track. It'll all add up eventually. So every day, those healthy habits, when it comes to, you know, your school, and it comes to like studying for school, it might come to like how your bedroom looks. You know, if you don't make your bed in the morning, then like that's the first win of the day.
It really is.
Making your bed, and then when you make your bed, you're like, oh, that looks like a really good bed. You know,
see, it's not just, hold on, just for a second. We talked about this like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, did you? That's awesome.
Yes. I was like, guys, if you like, I had a kid that got a hold of me. He's like, man, I'm stuck in a rut. And I was like, all right, how does your day start? And he goes, well, I just get out of bed and I get ready for school. I'm like, no, what's the very first thing you do? He's like, look at my phone. I was like, stop it. Make
exactly.
your bed. Start there. So you know who I'm talking about. That's for you. Anyway, sorry, you were saying.
I love it. And it's so true. And look, if you have a bad day, and I heard this somewhere before, if you have a bad day and you come home, at least your bed is nice and clean and made, and it's a good feeling. So when you tick that off your list early in the morning, it boosts your confidence when you're able to accomplish those little tasks. So when it comes to the bedroom, like your bed, when it comes to your study routine and things like your health and fitness as well, you just got to get the little basics right. Don't overwhelm yourself because it's not that complicated, as we've actually already spoken about too. Drinking water, like how many cups of water a day are you drinking? You should be drinking at least 8 cups of water and go for at least a 30-minute exercise workout, whether that's at the gym or going to walk around the neighborhood or just, playing sports. It just depends. But overall, like they're the 5 resilience tools. And I recommend don't start with all of them. Just choose one that you want to start with and embed that into your life and see how you go. And that might literally be, once you finish listening to this podcast, it might be changing your alarm code message, or writing it on a Post-it note or on your bedroom mirror or whatever it is. Choose that one thing, listen back to the podcast and choose that one thing that you want to do. And then it'll just build on top of that eventually, and, that's, you can be so creative with that, with these different resilience tools. So that's basically my spiel. So overall it's being thankful. So my TOUGH acronym, and in order to like really boost your self-confidence, boost your resilience and overcome any type of hardship in your life. And I promise guys, this works because I did this as a teenager. This is not something that I got from a textbook in school. It's literally from my own life experience. Number 1, be thankful for what you have in your life. Practice gratitude more than being down and, complaining about what's not working. Number 2 is be optimistic about yourself and your life by practicing positive self-talk through affirmations. Understanding your why. So having a purpose in life, really trying to figure out how can you use your gifts and talents to serve other people. Then number 4 is giving to others. And that's through random acts of kindness and random acts of compassion, both in your family and in your school. And there's a quote by Mother Teresa. She says, if you really want to change the world, start with your family. So do that. Win at home first before you go and try to fix, everything else or try to, enhance everything else. And then the last one is hack your lifestyle. And that's through just positive, easy habits, basic habits that you can do every day. And that's my 5-step checklist.
That's all I got for you. I hope everyone has a wonderful week. Y'all, I hope this was helpful. If it was, hit me up on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, or Facebook. Let me know what you thought. Better yet, hop in the reviews on the podcast you're listening to this on and leave a review there. I check all of them and I will respond to everything that I can. Y'all, I love hearing from you. It's the highlight of my day. I hope everyone has a wonderful week. I hope you are rocking everything that you do. I hope nothing's getting in your way, and for whatever does get in your way, I know you're going to find a way to overcome it like you always do. Catch y'all on the next one. Peace! Whew, that was another awesome episode of the Student Fire podcast. Thank y'all for sticking around for this long, but I got a question for you. Have you ever thought about starting your own podcast? See, when I was trying to get this podcast off the ground, I had a lot of questions, like how do I record an episode? How do I get my show to apps? Like, do I have to do it individually, or can I just have one place that does everything for me? And most importantly, how do I make money from my podcast? Is that even an option? Well, honestly, y'all, your answer is Anchor. Anchor is the one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing your podcast. Best of all, it is 100% free and ridiculously easy to use. And now, Anchor can match you with great sponsors that want to advertise on your podcast. Yes, you. That means you can get paid to make the podcast. You can get paid to podcast the right way. In fact, that's exactly what I'm doing right now by reading this ad. If you want to get in on this, if you want to make your podcast a reality and you want your success and your word to be a thing, man, you already know. Hop over to Anchor and give it a start. You won't regret it. Catch y'all in the next episode. Peace. We are Speak Fire. Who are we? We are a collective of inspirational, motivational, life-guiding speakers here to help you make your best life available and real today. For everyone that's looking for anything and everything leadership, you have to check out my guy, Michael Gingras, over at Leadership Fire. For my youth that are coming up, for those of you that have questions that need answers, go hit up Sean B. He's the host of Young Fire, killing the game every single Monday. For those of you that have questions that go a little deeper, for those of you that need that internal fire inside of you, not just sparked, but you need those flames fanned, go check out Aisha Thomas with Internal Fire. For my fathers, y'all, you are the real MVP. Go check out my guy Jody Cedric, the host of Father's Fire. For my champions, for my people that need to be the champion of not only their day, but their entire life, man, y'all gotta check out my man Neil Legend over at Champion Fire. For my students, doesn't matter if we're talking elementary, middle school, high school, college, my graduate students, all of you, for everything student empowerment, student leadership, and student productivity, tune in to Student Fire with me, your host, Bobby Bird. We are Speak Fire, live every Monday morning, 4 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You gonna wake up with us? Let's get it.
I am excited to bring you my new book, Trendsetter, 7 Steps to Radically Stand Out to Be the Best You. This book details my journey of coming to the United States and being excited to embrace the American culture. But unfortunately, my culture was not accepted, and I found myself being bullied as a young girl. And in this process, I decided that I wanted to disconnect from my culture to be more accepted into American culture. And through that process, I got so depressed from trying to fit in that I attempted suicide my freshman year in high school. So this book talks about the journey of what I did to become radically transformed to be the strong woman I am today. This book is something that's really going to enable the reader to understand and embrace who they are, embrace what makes them special, and become radically transformed. Get your copy today at becomingatrendsetter.com. Again, that is becomingatrendsetter.com, or check it out at my website at aishathomas.org.